Hello, everybody. This is NYC Geek Society again. I'm John. This is Victor. We're going to be talking about Uncharted 4 again. This is going to be our second play session. So, again, I'm doing the new format where I'm going to show a little bit of like a 6-second clip of where we started our play session and like a 6-second clip of where we ended it. And so if neither of those clips look familiar to you, then we might be ahead of you in the game. Also, what chapter did we finish on? Do you remember, Vic?
Chapter 8, I believe.
Chapter 8?
Yeah.
Okay. So we went a little bit into chapter 8, but I'll show you the exact parts. So we started our play session here. And we ended the play session here.
Gonna have to do better.
Okay. And I'm going to splice in where those clips were.
Alright.
So let's get started. Any thoughts to start out with on this session?
Well, it's interesting because I was discussing last night how I felt that some of the gamey aspects made it a little less cinematic at times. Mm-hmm. Little gamey gimmicks. But actually, the way this is constructed, the way it's edited, and the way it cut away from Nate, it was even more cinematic. The way it was cut together was more like a movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because we never really saw like Sully on his own much, ever.
Yeah.
And then now we got a whole scene with Sully.
Right.
You know, so I thought that was pretty interesting. That was a lot of fun to see, and this part of it was like a classic heist.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because we talked about while we were playing that I don't believe in any other Uncharted game if we've ever cut away from Nate.
Right.
And so I agree with you that that's very interesting that this seems to be about Nate, Sully, and Sam right now.
Right.
As opposed to us just following Nate's perspective the whole way.
Right, because it did flash back before to Sam's recollection of... Right. I mean, he's telling the story, but it was still his point of view when he was in the Panamanian prison.
Right.
So, yeah, so that's very interesting. And I think it's great. I like that. I like that whole thing.
Something also to take note of, it seems that there was less story aspects going on in this play session.
Well, it's more action, a lot more action in this section of it.
Right, and I feel like we finally got introduced to more of the play mechanics. Not all of them am I completely okay with. You and I were discussing that even when we were watching the trailers and gameplay videos before the game was released, the ability to sort of tag your enemies, although
I know where they are through walls.
Right, it's a neat play feature, and that's in a lot of games now, like Metal Gear and Splinter Cell and etc. But it's never been in the Uncharted series before, and it doesn't quite make sense. I mean, maybe you could think of it that maybe Nate could hear where they are or something, but they don't even try to explain it. It's just all of a sudden just, press L3 to tag your enemies. Like, why would he...
It's a very gamey thing, but I like the fact that you don't have to do it.
Right. And it's funny because I keep forgetting to do it.
Right.
Because I'm so not used to doing that in Uncharted.
Right, so I mean that's a good thing. You don't have to do it. You can still play it old style if you want.
Yeah, but once it's there, like I just don't understand why it was necessary to put that into the game.
I don't know. Like I said, it's one of the gamey things they put in on this chapter.
Yeah, but you know what it's like? It's just that they're so innovative, Naughty Dog, when it comes to video games. I was listening, I don't remember which podcast it might have been. Maybe it was IGN or Kinda Funny. But they were mentioning this, that, it stands out that much more when you have those tropes that they're doing. like tagging an enemy, or even like I don't have that much a problem with it, but just moving around boxes. It's just haven't we moved past this? Yeah.
Evidently not. I think they think that the gamers want this.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, while the graphics get better and all these other things get better, I think maybe think that the gamers want this. I mean, you don't find that in Quantum Break though. Quantum Break is still more straight up action without having those gamey gimmicks of.
So far, we didn't play that much of it.
We played it. I think we played enough. We see the basic things. I mean, you have your powers, but you're not marking targets or doing this other stuff, which I like that. I like that about it. But like I said, the thing is that you don't have to do it. You can just play it and not do it.
Yeah, but the game mechanic should be set up in a way that that's the way you want your player to play the game, Mm-hmm. If it's there, then the game is designed to use it.
Well, it makes it a little easier, that's for sure.
It makes it different, and yeah, maybe easier. You and I have had a lot of discussions about this, of when you kind of stop playing video games is, well, you talk about it, your first experience with Call of Duty Modern Warfare thing?
No, it was Black Ops.
Black Ops, okay.
Right, where I felt when I used to play the Call of Duty games or Medal of Honor games, they were mission oriented, but you felt that when you were playing and when you were taking out enemies, that you were affecting the action.
Right.
That you wouldn't advance, nothing would happen. But then when I played Call of Duty Black Ops, I felt that I was along for the ride. I suddenly felt a bit useless. And, somebody else said they played the whole first section. I saw the whole thing on YouTube without firing their gun once. And I tried it for stretches, and it kind of worked. So I felt like I was less important to the actual gameplay.
And, although Uncharted's always been a linear series, mm-hmm. There have been moments in the series before where, for example, in Uncharted 3, where the guys around you will just kind of solve the puzzles for you.
Right.
And you can literally even click on yes, reveal the answer to the puzzle.
Right.
But the combat, they never held your hand with.
Right.
And now this feels like that they are kind of just, you could see through walls. Why? Right. Because you just can.
Right. It seems they're giving you more enemies.
Yeah.
But still, it's something that it didn't have before. I don't think that it needs it now.
And I like the stealth aspects, and maybe that's why they put that in there, because they thought that that's part of the stealth genre.
Maybe, but it looked like Metal Gear in a few
sections.
they
even have the yellow sort of exclamation point shaped meter. Come on, guys, a little bit on the nose. I don't know. It's just strange to me.
Like I said, I'm not that crazy about it, but I think everything else makes up for it, though. I mean, that doesn't sour me on the game.
No.
Because everything else is incredible. And the acting is incredible. The guy, whoever plays Wraith, is freaking awesome.
I do want to look him up.
You hate this guy. You just hate this guy. I think he's awesome.
I love that shot that you actually pointed at the screen when Sully raises his number to bid, and Wraith turns and looks at it. You're like, oh, look.
That was a great moment. But that's great. He's a great character, and he's fun to look. He might be the best villain we've had so far.
Oh, by far. He's by far the most interesting villain thus far.
And he hasn't done very much at all. It's just his presence.
Yeah. I agree. Another thing that's interesting to me is when you pointed out their hands. There's a part where they're pointing at the map, and you're like, wow, their hands. And it's that moment that I realized, I forgot this was a video game.
Right.
Because I was so immersed at that point, I wasn't looking at that. I was saying, what? It took me a second to be like, what, it's their hands. And
Yeah.
I'm forgetting that these are actors in a mocap suit, you know?
No, the textures were amazing. The skin textures on their hands were absolutely amazing.
They're just so real to me as characters.
Yeah.
But also, just not to go too far away from it, Like you said, although I'm confused why they needed the tagging and all that, I really do enjoy the stealth aspect.
Right.
That I'm able to do that now because I'm a Metal Gear guy.
Right.
You know, like I prefer to play my games with stealth, and even though it took me longer to probably get through this one session that we just kind of completed,
Right.
And I kept dying, but I felt that exhilaration of I'm playing a video game right now. Like, yeah, I died, but I know what to do now. Like, I can do this better. I want to go again. You
Right,
know?
and you don't have to kill everybody in sight either.
Yeah, because that was one problem that was all throughout the first 3 games where you just get that battle fatigue. Like, all right, do I have to just keep shooting everybody? Like, how many guys are there?
I mean, I'm a World War II guy, and I was shocked at how many people you killed in the Uncharted series. I mean, it's like
thousands.
Yeah,
it's literally thousands of people.
Like I was shocked. I mean, it's.
Oh man.
But I'm definitely enjoying this, and right now they're in Scotland, and the backgrounds are incredible.
Yeah, I love like that purple sort of grass that's going on.
And I like those patches of sunlight that get revealed, so you feel like the clouds are moving across the sky.
That was something incredible where, I'm hanging from a ledge, and I'm waiting for some guy to walk by, and I'm trying to move around on that scene. And all of a sudden, a patch of sunlight starts shining on Nate for a second, and it goes away. I'm like, was that the sun? Like,
but that felt very like a very natural environment.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, I think that it's interesting that everybody thinks that Nate should tell Elena what's going on, except for Nate.
Give her credit, but I get the feeling he will eventually.
Well, we know through trailers and stuff that she finds out.
She gets involved, but how? We don't know how she joins the action.
But I find that interesting that... And we saw that bit of Nate get excited to get a treasure. And Sully has to remind him, wait a minute, isn't this to save Sam? He's like, yeah, of course. I mean, we're saving Sam to get the treasure to save Sam. And it's interesting because there is a lot more weight in this game. That even that moment in any of the other Uncharted, I would have giggled at. Or like, oh, look at Nate being all giddy. But here, like, I'm like worried.
Yeah, because you want him to focus.
Yeah. Wow, that's what it is. Yeah. It's like, hey man, do you realize what's going on here?
Yeah.
And this is interesting to me. It's really, I'm nervous. I'm nervous, and I've never really been that nervous playing an Uncharted game. You always kind of get the feeling like, yeah, they'll be all right, you know. But here it's like, I don't know, man. The stakes seem really high in this one.
Yeah, there's some danger here. We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And it's not just guys shooting at you. There's some other danger going on.
And I keep thinking about it. I've been thinking about it all day, actually, what you said last night. What if they get to find the thing and it's not a treasure?
Right.
What the hell are they going to do then?
Right. So far, all we know is they're dealing in metaphors.
Yeah.
They're convinced it's a treasure, but who knows what it is? Paradise? Who knows what it is?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see, but like I said, we're strapped in and we're enjoying the ride. It's like the little things that take you out. The rest of it just makes up for it, I think.
Yeah, and I think those little things are just kind of, honestly, the limitations of where we are at in the video game industry right now. Like, I was thinking more about what you said with the triangles over the head. And that's the thing. There's not a clear solution to this yet.
Right.
And so that's a solution that they chose. And I think maybe like the tagging and the moving boxes are some of those things where there has to be something there.
Right.
But so we're just falling back on the tropes because we don't know what to do with that yet to move forward.
See, now, in the pickpocketing scene, they did one of the things that I said. Remember when I said there's a guy way to mark people that you can talk to instead of those icons?
That is interesting.
When they did pickpocket thing, they did they focused. They made that one part lighter for a second.
Well, they make you focus in by pressing L2.
Right. So that's what I was saying last night, that they could do things like that instead of putting a little icon over a character, so you know that you should talk to this character.
All right.
So I don't know, but I'd say this is still great. It's going great. I guess we're less than a third in still.
I think there's like 20-something chapters, so if we're only on chapter 8, I think that I heard that the game could take like 17 hours to beat.
All right, so we're about
hours to beat.
We're about what, 3.5, 4 now.
This This play session was 2 hours, and last night was
An hour and a half.
I think or 2.5 hours.
Was it? I don't remember. Anyway,
yeah.
I think we're still less than a third through.
Yeah. So maybe a quarter through.
there's a lot more. Yeah. There's a lot more coming.
Yeah, so this is definitely, from what I've heard, the longest Uncharted there is, because all the rest of them take about 10. This is about double the amount of time to beat. So.
All right. Well, we have a lot of story to tell.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
No. I'm just excited to see where this goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really. I mean, you're always invested in the stories on the other Uncharteds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm really invested in this one also.
Yeah. Again, I feel this.
This is less adventure and more of an urgency.
Yeah, I feel this fear.
Yeah.
Because again, these are characters I really care about, and what surprised me, honestly, is how much I care about Sam. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because of that intro that they did.
Yeah.
Of just really establishing him as a character in the first couple of chapters. Because I was wondering if I would really take to him.
Well, we also don't know what happened between Sully and Sam. Because they have that exchange where he says somebody's got to take care of him. And Sam doesn't say anything.
Well, I mean, we get the impression through the earlier chapters that Sam's come and gone, you know. And something I did want to make note of, actually, was I remember in interviews that Amy Hennig, who used to be the creative director of the series until, for some reason that we still don't know, she was fired from Naughty Dog. She had this idea of storytelling that the side characters should always represent a certain part of the main character's personality. That's why, like, especially in Uncharted 2, you have Chloe, who is Nate's kind of explorer, rogue type, and then you have Elena, who, you know, is the one that's happy and still wants to explore, but she plays a little bit more safe, and you got Sully, who's a little bit wise, and I noticed that they're still kind of adhering to those rules, I think, that Sully definitely represents one side of Nate, which is the side that wants to plan this. Right. Wants to, you know, not just jump right in. And then there is the side that's Sam that, oh yeah, but let's just go. Right. We'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. And that's what was going on at that table, where it's like, Nate knows better than that now. You know, Sully was saying, let's plan this. Like at the beginning before they go into the auction place, you know.
Right, but they're being naughty boys again.
Yeah. Where, you know, Nate was telling Sam, you know, everything's going to be fine. Let's stick to the plan. Sully's going to come through. Now, by the time they got to the end of that, he's all with Sam like, oh, let's just go. We'll figure it out. And that's interesting to me.
Right. All right. Well, like I said, we're enjoying it, and we'll see where this goes.
All right. So, NYC Geek Society. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Tell your friends, tell inanimate objects, tell animals, tell yourself about us.
Talk to yourself.
All right. Signing off.
All
Goodbye.
Right.